Alright, so there's been a Pokemon Unite Datamine going on over the last couple of days, and it's revealed 3 new Pokemon coming to the game, which is something that was announced with the anniversary update. First wave starting in July, 3 Pokemon, second wave starting in September, also Tyranitar coming out very soon, so everything is coming together, but for some reason, even though the devs should know their game is getting massively data mined, they just put the data in for all 3 of the new Pokemon, not like the next one or the updates or something. So that is some pretty crazy stuff. We have loose move details at this time. We also have more emblems coming to the game and a lot of other things to break down. So if you enjoy the video, don't forget to leave a like, share with friends, comment your thoughts down below. But I want to give my quick thoughts onto how I feel about these Pokemon coming to the game. So Scizor makes sense. A lot of people want to see it. A lot of people expecting Scizor at some point just makes sense as an all-rounder. I'm looking forward to some really cool things like bullet punch, mobility, and just like technician combos, and then just doing crazy amounts of damage. Probably going to be a pretty strong Pokemon. Also has an interesting move gimmick, which that tweet is somewhere. Right here. Scizor won't evolve depending on the moveset. So it's not just Scizor. You can also stay as a Scizor, which is really interesting because they do have the same base stats and it kind of like goes into the video game lore. So you can either just maybe go like bulkier on the Scizor with like the steel typing that's going to be going for, or maybe Scizor is going to be like super high mobility, practically a speedster kind of Pokemon. After that, we have Mew. Very surprised to see Mew. Makes sense as like a mythical to be added, and a lot of people have been wanting to see more mythicals, but there's not a lot of mythical Pokemon, and I feel that they should be treated special, but we already have Zeraora and Hoopa being added in, so like another mythical already. I'm surprised by that. I'm also surprised that Mew is not a supporter. I thought like Mew's gentle nature and utility and just like not type diversity, but move diversity would open it up as a supporter, but no, it's an attacker. It's just going to nuke you out with psychic powers, and then Dodrio as a speedster. Even though Dodrio is a forgotten Pokemon, doesn't really get any attention, it makes sense. It's like just in lore, a super fast Pokemon. Also, I can see it just like rapid fire hitting with its multiple heads for like peck attacks and stuff. So it actually seems really cool. Like this Pokemon makes sense, and unfortunately the speedster class, like people are like, where are all the speedsters? Speedster barely exists in Pokemon Unite because like all the rating systems are completely fraudulent. In what world is Zeraora a 7 out of 10 on offense where Ninetales is 8 and Pikachu is 9? And this is before all the Zeraora nerfs. Like, this is how Zeraora launched. But speedsters, you know, they're all about the mobility and scoring, so, you know, they don't have high offense ratings. That's for attackers. No, there was like no point in Pokemon Unite where that whole like rating system actually made any sense. Also, backdooring and like trying to score in Pokemon Unite because of the buff to tier 2 goals has just become completely worthless. And also banning your team for like Rotom, Dreadnought, or team fights to backdoor 40 or 50 points doesn't really work. So like the whole mobility scoring aspect of a speedster is just super griefing, and the game hasn't really like played into that. So not having like a speedster being introduced makes sense. Now, can the archetype still exist? I can see it, but Dodrio is going to have to be very special to stand out, and also just not be seen as an attacker like every other speedster, because it's a made up nothing of a class. It doesn't, maybe like Assassin is closer. Like, people think like speedster for scoring and mobility, but the playstyle is much more assassin based, which is also why it's weird that the offensive ratings on these Pokemon are so low. Absol, 7 out of 10. Okay, you can think that, I guess. So then we can also kind of look at Mew. So the interesting thing about Mew, when I first saw it, I thought it would be really cool if they took the Pokemon Masters approach to Mew and didn't give it just a psychic moveset, and it actually has like multiple things. And that would actually make it one of the more diverse and interesting Pokemon, because right now when it comes to, I don't know, 80% of the roster, there's one moveset. You pick one moveset, that is the best moveset. If you do anything else, you're trolling. It's just not even close, it's not even comparable. You can only pick one moveset. Now, I do think Pokemon like Charizard do have like some diversity to where if you pick the right one, you can make it work out. Ninetales with Avalanche into certain combos like Mr. Mime and Snorlax to create like a wall composition can have some kind of effect. And then again, just like a few other Pokemon I think can mix up the moveset, but for the most part, no. So having a Pokemon that plays entirely around that could be really interesting if Mew is very powerful based on game sense. If you pick the right move set for your comp into the opponent's composition, and then that makes the Pokemon a lot more powerful and gives you rewards, that could be pretty awesome. Also, depending on like the different effects and stuff. This is weird though, because we don't have the full details, and the mechanics are crazy. Mew has 6 moves. I didn't think it was going to work that way. I thought it was going to start with like Pound Confusion or something, you know? And then maybe, since instead of just going left and right, you can actually choose like more than 2 directions for your upgraded move, and then you commit to that. So it's like, oh, I'm going to be playing Thunder Fire Blast for Mew. But this is like crazy. So it has 6 moves. I'm wondering if you just get to like choose all of its moves from the beginning, and that level 5, the gimmick is you get to switch, or there's like 2 starter moves, and then it gets extra moves. But then it gets a reset button. That button will reset your chosen move, and you'll be able to change them. Or your chosen moves, and you'll be able to change them. So yeah, like, also like adding extra button interactions, kind of like how Hoopa with like pressing the R button, or like, yeah, just pressing the stick. So that, like, I don't like the weird UI or user interaction creep on this one, but that is kind of neat. Now, does this mean that Mew's going to be underwhelming due to its diversity, or is it going to be like super giga S+ tier because of the ceiling being very high on utilizing Pokemon? One thing I've learned from the devs is that the devs don't know how to balance technical characters. That, as we saw with like Sarina, it's like, yo, the devs were actually so incompetent at balancing and testing their own game, they don't know how to utilize Sarina's like passive, so they were just failing at the uptime and the ceiling, and then the Pokemon launch busted. It feels kind of the same for Glaceon. I'm like, can the devs really not like use all the abilities to get the proper interactions on Glaceon? Because it really seems that way. I honestly feel like Icy Wind is terrible because the devs were like, well, we need to, this is the only way we can keep our 8 stacks the entire game, because we don't know how to juggle auto attacks, you know, land the 4 autos and then use Icicle Spear for the full uptime of the ability and weave the abilities together while kiting. So because of that, like, yeah, there's just some really weird stuff going on. So like, either they're going to be scared and they're going to make Mew very underwhelming, like a lot of new characters have been with Azumarill and Buzzwole and a few others, or it's just going to be like game breaking. That's kind of like the state of Pokemon. If Pokemon launches balanced, that means it's bad because there's just so many other broken things in the game. One thing I'm interested in, we have emblems being added all the way up to Mew. So that's going to be 52 new emblems. Pretty nice, increasing the emblems by 50%. This has been needed because like a lot of chains just don't fill out. Like you can't even complete the electric ones. So that need to happen quickly. I'm happy to see it. We don't need any more for a while, I don't think. I think there's going to be enough diversity with the ones coming in. Can also start to speculate. A lot of normal types. So we're going to get a lot of white coloration, potentially boosting health. If you have like Pidgeot for like plus hit points, minus special attack, and then like if Kangaskhan is minus special attack plus hit points, or Chansey or something, like you can start build out a page. It's going to give you like 1,000 health or something absurd. Not maybe that much, you do need golds, which no one has, but I'm liking some of the ideas here, because one thing that I've been wanting to see is a normal fire. That way you can weave attack speed with bonus on whites. So Moltres kind of sets that up. Dragonair, Dratini, Dragonite, if that's blues, that's also going to set it up. So if we're seeing like Dragon-type Pokemon, how that's going to interact. Bug flying on Scyther, so a grass normal could be interesting. It's mostly dual types. Like, the biggest thing that the game needs to introduce is like as many of the emblems as possible. That way we get as many dual types as possible. And I feel like even if Pokemon is monotype, it should have gotten like dual type emblem representation. Because, like, yeah, now there's just, like, some lines that are objectively better than others. Just go green-black on any special attacker. Don't need to do anything else. Attack speed is a broken stat because of just how the game works, so it doesn't really make a lot of sense. And no matter what you do, 4% attack is never worth it. Like, you're getting 16, 20 attack at most when that's, like, level 13 plus, and by that point, Pokemon have 6,000 health, and you're doing 20 more damage on attack, or getting 80 more damage out of, like, an ability combo off of your scaling. So some of these things are just weak. Like, yeah, if there was more things where it's like, oh, I'm just naturally picking up 2% attack because everything has, like, a ground dual typing or fighting dual typing, that's cool. That's, like, a neat little thing on the stats. But until then, just completely worthless. Same thing for some of the other ones. Like I said, like, it's nice that I could weave a little bit of extra basic attack speed while I'm naturally gaining hit points or some other stats. But yeah, green-black, just way too good. Movement speed out of combat. Worthless stat, but we are going to be getting some electric types coming in. with like Electabuzz and Jolteon. Also Zapdos, so like electric normal. I think that means there's going to be enough. Also Voltorb Electrode, because those that was the cutoff. So yeah, there's going to be enough to kind of fill out that page. I don't know if like Giga Sprinting a Float Stone 30-something% is going to matter. And like that's what is needed to make the game work, or again, the combat and the stats being sacrificed are just too much. But again, like since some of these don't really matter, like a physical attacker, yeah, you're mostly just trying to fish for some health or just go full crit, but then you're making yourself glass. So I think like there might be an interesting playstyle where, well, if I die as Dreadnought spawns and I immediately make it back on respawn because that is out of combat as I'm running to the objective, maybe like some kind of objective salvaging strategy can appear with yellows and you're not giving up too much on it, or it's just trash. And yeah, again, like everything's just going to boil down to an all-white health page because of stat efficiency, or all crit because 80 carries, and then green-black on special attackers, and nothing else matters. But I think it is cool to kind of like open this up and see the potential. Also, Pokemon Unite DB, they have like a full-on emblem builder now. Really, really good for the game. Scizor and Dodrio will be first week only per gems and 14k coins. That's unfortunate. I don't like that. I think it's just kind of like, here's the weird thing, like when a game gets into a death spiral, and Pokemon Unite hit a death spiral like 3 months in, where they just refused to promote the game, and they just didn't, like, people don't even know there's a Pokemon MOBA out there, even Pokemon fans, or even League of Legends fans. That's really upsetting, and like the bad decisions burn players off, and then they just get stubborn. Please, split the queues, and then create an incentive to just get addicted to the game and grind up the solo queue ladder or something. Mew looks like it's free, no shop data, so it will have an event. And then like, this is just whatever. Also, there's going to be a new thing for like the normal mode, it looks like, where they're going to be changing around the Pokemon. Similar to how there was Articuno, now it looks like we're going to be getting a Celestial Pillar for Rayquaza map. Not ranked, it's normals. I think, I don't agree when idiots are like, oh man, we need a new map. Bro, the game has barely been out for a year, and people have been wanting a new map for ranked, even like less than a year in, and Summoner's Rift has been mostly the same in League of Legends. A couple of small tweaks, but that took years and multiple seasons to implement, and most of those ruined the game. And League of Legends hasn't been good since Season 3, and I'm still playing that god-awful game. Why are heroin addictions so bad? Same with Pokemon Unite. I'm addicted to this game, and the player base ruins it, and the devs don't try to make it any better, but it's still a fun game to me. So yeah, like we got these things going on. New map has Rayquaza for Regis. By the looks of it, it'll only be for event and normal matches. Don't have any confirmation on ranked, and they're going to be changing around some of the Pokemon and how those spawns look. As we saw with the Articuno map. So that was actually in ranked, so this is different, but shows how they mix things up. And once again, like going back to the whole death spiral thing, I feel like the devs are putting too much into the casual stuff and not enough into like focusing on competitive, like just nerfing Hoopa into oblivion and splitting the ranked queues. But they don't do that, which also means ladder, and apparently people need that to be explained to them. So just complete failings all over, and you can see that these decisions aren't working, where it's like, oh yeah, you listen to the toxic Pokemon community and you try to cater to the casuals, and the end result is that you have to make the new Pokemon paid currency only initially. And then people are complaining, like, people are complaining about getting Eos coins. Like, that was like the first month or so of the game where it's like, we can't afford anything. Play the game for 3 months and then you'll afford most of it. And then a year from now, because the devs are reacting to toxic players pumping so much stuff into their game, now everyone's going to be capped out on currency, and if they don't like a Pokemon or two and they're not buying every single one, they're going to be sitting on 30, 40k Eos coins, and then the next 3 Pokemon that come out as a part of like a major event or anniversary aren't going to generate any revenue because everyone's sitting on all the currency, and now game's effed. Congratulations. That's what you get. And then again, just like irresponsible influencers just defaming the game like Critical, saying that it's pay to win, and then idiot NPCs in their audience blindly following in. Pokemon Unite deserve better. I've been saying that for, God, a year now. That's super depressing. It's also depressing when I made the video. It's like, I don't even think mobile is going to save this game. Pokemon community is so toxic, they already ruined it. And yeah, now we're just kind of seeing the results of that. Mew seems fun and interesting. Scizor seems cool as well. I like the emblem expansion for strategy, but until the game is actually taken seriously, which I don't think is going to happen, until the Pokemon community stops being toxic, which I don't think is going to happen, kind of a dead game. It's now, it went from, like, having Pokemon Go potential to being Pokemon Masters. Great. If you guys enjoyed the video, hope you all have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching.